Buongiorno a tutti, la mia presenza è perché questa iniziativa che oggi state facendo insieme agli amici della Risi e al mondo della spirulina Fox rientra in una programmazione di un'iniziativa sulla rete in un portale che si chiama agrintour.it. In questo portale per 4 giorni, dal 30 gennaio al 2 febbraio, il mondo dell'agricoltura a livello regionale, a livello nazionale e a livello internazionale comunica e dà dei messaggi importanti. I calabresi nel mondo riescono a seguire tutto quello che noi facciamo qui in Calabria e quindi diamo la possibilità a chi si trova, in questo caso noi siamo collegati con l'Argentina, con l'Australia, col Canada e col Brasile, si interroga su quello che sta facendo la Calabria buona, la Calabria intelligente. Noi stiamo cercando di fare questo tipo di lavoro e quindi questa manifestazione rientra in questi 4 giorni. Questo evento di oggi voi lo vedrete l'1 febbraio alle ore 18 sulla piattaforma agrintour.it sulla pagina di Facebook. Quindi vi chiedo anche adesso di mettere sulla pagina Facebook Agrintour il like, così voi potete poi la giornata di oggi la potete visualizzare. Io vi auguro un buon lavoro e spero che questo progetto della spirulina, a cui questa iniziativa, ma soprattutto questa manifestazione è molto legata, possa dare i risultati sperati, perché parliamo veramente di un progetto interessante che non è un progetto per la Calabria, è un progetto per il mondo intero, perché la spirulina è la sfida del futuro. Buon lavoro e grazie sia all'ingegnere Fagà che alla professoressa Mazzuca.
Buonasera a tutti, io sono Alessandra Cugnetto, rappresento l'organizzazione Itaca Training e stiamo realizzando a Lamezia un progetto Erasmus+. Il progetto RDE che mira a condividere le buone prassi per lo sviluppo locale e per contrastare il fenomeno dello spopolamento delle zone rurali. Dal 24 al 30 di gennaio a Lamezia stiamo ospitando un'azione del progetto che è un training internazionale, la cui responsabile è la professoressa Emilia Radu. Il training si concluderà la sera del 29 e avremo il piacere di programmare le attività online per la conclusione del progetto che si terrà il 17 febbraio in Portogallo. Io passo la parola alla responsabile del training che ci illustrerà brevemente le attività che stanno realizzando i partecipanti. I partecipanti sono delle delegazioni scelte da diversi paesi europei, dal Portogallo, dalla Spagna, dal Belgio, dalla Romania e dalla Grecia, che stanno condividendo e vivendo insieme alcuni momenti importanti, visitando alcune best practice, delle belle esperienze calabresi positive. Esperienze di cui noi già avevamo parlato in un toolkit che abbiamo realizzato lo scorso anno. I nostri partecipanti hanno avuto il piacere di visitare le cantine Statti, oggi hanno avuto il piacere di visitare l'azienda Spirulina Bio e andranno a conoscere altre realtà del territorio calabrese. Grazie a tutti per la partecipazione, passo la parola alla professoressa Emilia Radu.
Hi, I'm very happy to introduce you our training course, which is part of a 2 years long-term project dedicated to adults, and this project is coordinated by Alphabet Formation in partnership with other 5 non-profit organizations from Portugal, from Spain, from Greece, as well from Romania. And the reason why we are here is because we think that this is a great opportunity to bring together people who are working in adult education as well with young people that can exchange good practices. He should as well.
Ma non sto seguendo troppo, perché you speak long, so I...
Sorry, it's fine. Should
I can translate? Ok. Il partenariato del progetto è formato da 6 organizzazioni no profit Il capofila dell'organizzazione è Alphabet, è l'organizzazione che sta a Bruxelles. E l'obiettivo è quello di imparare, ed è un'educazione rivolta appunto agli adulti, con delle tecniche di formazione innovative per sperimentare direttamente e anche mettersi in discussione, aggiungo io, per conoscere bene le nuove realtà.
Even more than this, it's very important that we are having a lot of conversations and we are exchanging concrete good practices and approaches that we can further on suggest to the young people and as well adults who are living in rural areas.
No, vai.
Le tecniche di formazione sono innovative, si parte da attività di gruppo a riflessioni individuali, a confronti tra giovani e adulti. I partecipanti sono comunque tutti maggiorenni.
At the end of the training course, we are trying to give different perspectives and different approaches from the European level regarding ways we can repopulate the rural areas, and as well we can revive the repopulate and revive the rural areas.
Alla fine del corso, del training, noi cercheremo di dare differenti punti di vista con degli approcci anche diversi per conoscere, condividere, anche proporre nuove strategie per contrastare lo spopolamento delle zone rurali.
I was sharing with our dear participants how important is the role of organizations, non-profit organizations, the civil society, to support as well public authorities, as well other non-profit organizations, maybe even spokesperson, key people from the communities to support and guide the people from the rural communities to take actions and to feel empowered to launch their own small initiatives in their communities.
Lei desidera anche comunque condividere con i partecipanti quanto è importante, quanto sia importante, quanto sarà importante il ruolo delle organizzazioni no profit per contribuire al cambiamento anche politico in Europa e per stimolare le zone e la popolazione e la società civile delle zone rurali che stanno vivendo questo problema, che è il fenomeno dello spopolamento. It's okay? Okay. Thank you very much, Emilia.
Allora, buon pomeriggio a tutti. Io sono Francesco Antonio A, direttore scientifico della società che è proprietaria di questo impianto. E voglio ringraziare tutta l'organizzazione.
Facciamo step by step.
Translate.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Francesco Antonio Faca. I am the director of the scientific direttore.
Biorisi SRL.
He is the director of the Biorisi SR. This is his company here.
Yes. E grazie a tutti i fratelli che vengono dall'Europa. Grazie a tutti i fratelli che vengono dall'Europa.
Thank you, everybody, all the brothers who come from the Europe.
Grazie alla professoressa Mazzuca dell'Università della Calabria e al suo staff di ricercatori dell'Università che lavora specificatamente anche sulla spirulina.
I want to thank the professor of the, come si chiama?
Silvia Mazzuca.
Silvia Mazzuca from the University of here in Calabria, and she also collaborate with us in the spirulina production.
Yes. Adesso noi vediamo un breve video di presentazione, mi scuso, è in italiano, è un breve video di presentazione sulla azienda.
Now he will show us the very short video about the presentation of his program today.
Un superalimento del futuro. Così potremmo definire la microalga spirulina, che con le sue proprietà nutrizionali è un vero e proprio superfood, conosciuto ai più per le sue qualità terapeutiche, dovute alle proteine vegetali e alla presenza di omega 3, omega 6, vitamine e sali minerali. La spirulina, coltivata dalla start-up innovativa Biorisi, sotto il marchio Spirulina Fox, possiede delle caratteristiche che la rendono unica nel suo genere,
Spirulina
perché è coltivata
dry
in speciali serre a tecnologia brevettata OILFOX. Le serre consentono di produrre l'alga in condizioni igieniche perfette e con una percentuale di spirulina pari al 100%. Inoltre, le speciali condizioni climatiche riprodotte al suo interno creano un clima ideale per la crescita naturale dell'alga, senza artifizi chimici. Biorisi, in collaborazione con i produttori locali e con i centri di ricerca delle università, ha ampliato l'offerta con la produzione di alimenti tipici della dieta mediterranea con l'aggiunta di spirulina, come pasta, latticini, composta di arancia e prodotti da forno.
La nostra idea è quella di aggiungere la spirulina ad altri prodotti della cucina italiana e farne dei veri superfood.
Nello spirito dell'IIMSAM, un organo istituito dall'ONU, Biorisi sostiene la produzione di spirulina per combattere le emergenze alimentari nei paesi più poveri. Spirulina, l'alimento del futuro, alla portata di tutti.
Bene. Spirulina è il cibo più antico del futuro.
The spirulina is the all food in the future. The antique food.
Cosa è la spirulina? What is spirulina? Spirulina è, per la professoressa, un cianobattero.
Non per me.
No, per la professoressa. Invece diciamo comunemente nel mercato si conosce come una microalga.
In the economical,
Per il mondo scientifico, diciamo.
the world scientific system, it is known as seaweed.
Ok. Dove cresce la spirulina? Naturalmente. Cresce in Africa, vicino al lago Chad, e nell'America Latina, in particolare il lago Titicaca, Rio della Plata, Messico, in climi con caldo umido e nella fascia subtropicale.
This is the place where the spirulina grow up naturally in the Africa, the Chadian Lake side. These are the places where this spirulina usually grow up naturally.
Caldo, umido, clima, claro.
Caldo, umido. The hot temperature is umido, cosa vuol dire l'altro?
Subtropicale, tropico Cancro, tropico Capricorno.
System.
In this range, ok? This climate range. Perché è antica? La conoscevano gli antichi Aztechi.
The reason why it is something antique, which is something long time, because the people who discover it,
Aztechi.
They are those who discover
Aztechi.
it.
Ma la spirulina ha più di 2 miliardi di anni.
The spirulina have more than
3.
2,000 years ago. 3,000, more than 3,000.
Perdono. Più di 2. In tutti questi anni, così tanti, la spirulina ha accumulato una serie di proprietà.
All these years which is past, the spirulina accumulate some properties.
Quali sono queste proprietà?
What is these properties?
Per esempio, la spirulina contiene fibre. Fibre? Qua, lo vediamo qua.
The fiber
2%,
2%,
acqua 5%, acidi grassi essenziali,
the water 3%,
omega 3, omega 6, minerali,
the mineral 7%,
glucidi,
7%.
Ma soprattutto proteine.
Di proteina.
E mediamente la spirulina ha tra 55 e 70% di proteine vegetali.
He said the spirulina has mostly the 65% of the proteins.
Sì. Un cucchiaio di spirulina, 1 grammo di
1
spirulina,
gram of the spoon
contiene calcio, quanto ce n'ha 100 grammi di tonno?
it contains the calcio 100% gram of the ton.
Ferro, quanto 1 carciofo e mezzo?
The ferro, quanto?
Carciofo. Come dici
Carciofo
carciofo?
of the maize.
Ecco.
Artichokes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Vitamina B3, quanto 3 arance.
Vitamin B3 of orange.
Beta carotene, quanto una banana.
Beta carotene like banana, 1 banana.
Tutto questo in un solo cucchiaio di spirulina, solo in 1 grammo di spirulina.
All this is 1 gram of spoon of spirulina.
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 Cominciamo. Quindi voi capite che la spirulina, dal punto di vista nutritivo, è un alimento sicuramente straordinario, perché contiene contemporaneamente tutte queste cose.
The spirulina, if you can calculate.
Spirulina. Vai.
Spirulina, if you can.
Vai.
It has all the contents of this fruit here, which he explained on the slide.
La spirulina è usata oggi soprattutto come integratore alimentare.
The spirulina is also used as integratore alimentare, the alimentation.
Yes. Pensate che la usano gli astronauti quando vanno nello spazio, usano la spirulina per nutrirsi.
The NASA use the spirulina when they are going to space.
Perché è un piccolo volume, c'è tanta proteina e altre vitamine.
Prodella, che vuol dire?
In un piccolo volume hai molta proteina.
Okay.
Per questo.
Because the small volume has more potential of protein.
Mm-hmm. Molto usata nello sport e per la salute.
Mostly the sport, they use it for the health situation.
Molte vitamine.
And it has also more vitamin.
Molte proprietà antiossidanti.
Antiossidanti
in inglese è difficile, com'è? Antioxidanti.
And also it has more antioxidant.
Mantiene e recupera la massa muscolare, i muscoli.
It can help you to relax your muscles.
Dà un giusto apporto nutrizionale, bilanciato.
It has balance.
Nutritivo.
Nutritivo.
Sali minerali.
And also like salt or the mineral.
Pensate che ha calcio per esempio, in una quantità 26 volte maggiore al latte di mucca.
The calcio it has 26 times more than the cow milk.
Cow milk, yes. Magnesio e potassio. Magnesio e potassio, molto importanti per i crampi, le lesioni tendinee dei muscoli e l'affaticamento.
The magnesium potassium is also good for if you have a little lesion on your leg or the muscle pains.
Ferro, iron. Iron per le forme di anemia, soprattutto per le donne, questo è molto interessante.
So the iron is also the form of the anemia, which is very important, especially for the ladies.
Yes. And so, manganese, sodio, fosforo, zinco e selenio. C'ha tutto.
It has all this manganese and sodio and selenio.
Zinco e selenio. Uno dei più grandi consumatori, famosi consumatori di spirulina è uno dei più famosi tennisti del mondo, che è Djokovic, che gioca con la spirulina sotto la lingua.
The most famous sportman who used the spirulina is Djokovic. When he's playing, he has to place it under his tongue.
Anche questo è il motivo per cui lui può giocare per 6 ore.
This is the reason he can be able to play for more than 6 hours or 6 hours maximum.
Ok. Quindi spirulina è salute,
Spirulina is healthy.
è nutritivo, diciamo apporto nutritivo, proteine, vitamine, fibre, acidi di alcalinità, ma la spirulina lavora contro alcune malattie molto diffuse oggi nel mondo.
The struvela, excuse my explain. It has contain all these vitamins, fibre, acido, grasso, essenziali,
Alcalino, okay. Ma è importante
alcalina.
contro queste malattie.
It has also important. It is also contro against the lot of the diseases now we are having in this generation.
Come colesterolo, trigliceridi, anemia, ipertensione, invecchiamento quando uno diventa old, come si dice?
If somebody is old, reach the old age.
Stanchezza cronica, come si dice?
If you tired so much.
For the man, potenza sessuale.
For the man is also
That's a problem
sexual.
Like the women. Fertilità.
It's hard fertility also.
Immunodeficienze.
Immunodeficienza.
Tumori, cancer.
It has also benefits of the cancer. Tumore,
Cancer.
Tumore.
Per questo motivo l'ONU, Organizzazione delle Nazioni Unite, ha creato una cosa speciale per la spirulina.
For this reason, the United Nations has created something special for spirulina.
E si chiama IIMSAM, Intergovernmental Institution for the Use of Microalgae Spirulina Against Malnutrition. La spirulina è... No, questo è in inglese già. Questo è per la spirulina è stata riconosciuta dall'ONU come unico integratore alimentare capace di combattere la malnutrizione.
It is the spirulina become recognized as something which is very integratore alimentare. The alimentation against the malnutrition.
Malnutrition, sì. Ma la spirulina è importante anche per l'ambiente. Molto interessante.
The spirulina is also important for the environment.
Noi diciamo che la spirulina è una fabbrica di proteine amica della terra.
They said the spirulina is one of the factory which protect the earth, the amicable of the earth.
It's friendly
earth.
Friend of the earth.
The friend of the earth.
Perché? Per produrre la stessa quantità di proteine, la spirulina impiega 1/27 di terra e 1/4 di acqua rispetto ai semi di soia.
For you to be able to produce
1 chilogrammo di spirulina. 1 chilogrammo di
1 kilogram of the protein, it can respectively take 1/27
of land
of the land and 1/4 of the water.
E nel mais 1 su 37 di terra è 1/6 di acqua.
If you can look the mass, it is 1/37 of the earth and 1/6 of the water.
Rispetto al grano, per l'alimento dei bovini, un 317° di terra e un 50° di acqua.
Compared to groundnut, compared to groundnut alimentation, it is 1.1/31
Of what?
317 of the earth, 1/50 of the water.
È chiaro, sì. Quindi capite che per fare 1 chilo di proteine vegetali, che sono migliori, di qualità, noi impieghiamo molto meno risorse, abbiamo bisogno di molto meno risorse che dovremmo prendere dalla natura.
To produce the 1 gram of the protein, they have little resource to be able to do this, compared to the other production.
La spirulina, oltre che per alimento, viene usata anche per fare il decontaminazione di specchi d'acqua, per esempio. Per esempio, questo è un lago contaminato e viene stata usata a Massaciuccoli la spirulina per fare la decontaminazione di questo lago.
The spirulina is also, apart from the food alimentation system, it can be also used against the water contamination, the place like this.
Questa è anche una ricerca che sta facendo anche all'Università della Calabria con la nostra spirulina. Poi dopo la professoressa spiegherà quali sono i risultati.
This is the reason why the University of the Calabria is doing the research with them for their spirulina. Later the professor will explain everything.
Ok. Adesso vi faccio vedere un piccolo video di un altro uso della spirulina.
Now he will show us the short video that will explain another benefit of the spirulina.
Questa è la televisione nazionale italiana, TG2, durante l'Expo di Dubai 2021.
This is the Italian national TV, TG2. This is the time when they are doing l'Expo in Dubai.
All'Expo di Dubai, nel padiglione italiano, nel capannone italiano, noi abbiamo fatto, è stata provata la spirulina. Vedete?
He said during l'Expo in Dubai, the Italian capannone, how could they call it in English? The Italian people use the spirulina there.
Sì. La spirulina è usata per togliere l'anidride carbonica, CO2, dall'ambiente.
The spirulina, it was used to reduce the affection of
CO2, anidride carbonica.
Carbone, which is fuel.
Una cosa scostumata.
Cosa?
Come si dice in inglese? Questa è una nuova frontiera, cioè tu pensa che adesso lo vedremo più avanti, cosa significa. Voi sapete che abbiamo la necessità, tutto il mondo, la necessità di ridurre l'anidride carbonica.
The whole world, we need to reduce the CO2 of the carbon.
Biorisi non solo fa produzione di spirulina, ma insieme all'università fa anche un'attività di ricerca.
the Belarus is not only for the production of spirulina, but with the university there is another research.
Questa è la ricerca scientifica. Per esempio, noi stiamo lavorando, intanto esiste una ricerca cinese che parla di questa proteina che è dentro la spirulina, che si chiama ficocianina.
This is the scientific research which they are doing with the Chinese about the water, come si chiama quella?
Ficocianina.
Ficocianina, which is inside, the spirulina is inside.
Spirulina, yes. Per produrre un farmaco contro il cancro.
To produce one of the medicine against the cancro. Cancer, scusa.
Cancer. Poi vi spiegherà la professoressa Mazzuca. È stata sviluppata una ricerca, è già scritto in inglese, an efficient low cost, no chemicals, water recycling method for the production of pure ficocianine from Astrospira maxima. Qui c'è qualcuno degli autori, la professoressa Piro, la dottoressa Mazzuca, modestamente ci sono pure io. E oggi, proprio oggi, questa ricerca è stata approvata dalla comunità scientifica internazionale.
Well, like today, this research is approved by the scientific community in the world.
Today.
Justly
today.
Yeah, just today.
Biorisi lavora col concetto di rete.
The Bioresis work through with the
network consent.
Network consent.
Ok. E noi per esempio partecipiamo a un altro progetto di ERASMUS in Europa.
Now we will have to participate with another project in Europe which is called ERASMUS.
E lavoriamo con altri soci di Turchia, Grecia, Slovenia, Spagna.
We will work together with another association like Turkey, Greece, Spain,
Slovenia
and Slovenia.
E Turchia, sì, infatti. Questi sono i nostri partner internazionali. In un altro progetto.
This is their partners internationally.
Da questo progetto si è sparsa, diciamo, un'attività di ricerca in tutta Europa, ma anche oltre l'Europa, sulla spirulina.
This association there for the research of the production of the spirulina in Europe, but even outside Europe.
Esattamente. E adesso abbiamo rapporti con Russia, Spagna, Turchia.
And now we are collaborating with the Russia, Spain,
Turchia
and Turkey.
Bene, avete visto che la spirulina è amica della terra e amica dell'umanità.
Did you see that the spirulina is the friend of the earth and also the humanity?
Il nostro obiettivo non è solo fare business.
Our objective is not only to do the business,
ma lasciare il mondo un po' migliore di quanto lo abbiamo trovato.
to leave the earth the better way than the way we found it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
much. And good spirulina for us.
Siamo.
Because 3 billion years ago, this organism started to evolve, and then Here we can experience these extraordinary activities and extraordinary properties of this organism. For example, the biotechnology application, and the first for the spirulina is used for the food additives, and it has a molecule inside that has antioxidant activities. Then are able to reduce the CO2 in the environment, in water and in air, because they make the photosynthesis. This is the process that consumes CO2 to produce the organic molecules, such as sugar. And it's used in the bioremediation. It means to reduce the contaminants in the natural matrix of the environment. And is also the source for the lipids. So also the biofuel means that's for the new energetic sources to the human activity. Here we can show you the very simple example from which to farm. We can switch to a lab experiments. For example, here you saw the control cultivation, very small in respect to those that you saw before. And then here we saw two subculture in which we have treated this organism with the two major pollutants in this time, that is pesticides and microplastics. The pesticides the most used in the world is the glyphosate. This is a very, very dangerous molecule, so not for animal, but also for plants. And we performed some experiments using the glyphosate as the contaminant. And then also we monitoring the growth of the organism by means of the observation of the shape and the number of organisms that are in a small volume. And then here we can analyze the behavior of these organs during the treatment. What we saw is that during 34 days of cultivation, the spirulina still survive. It means that the spirulina is able to hit the pesticides. It means that spirulina, this organism, is able to metabolize as the sources of carbon, the sources of phosphates, and then they detoxificate the environment, and they have been used in the program for detoxification as a target organism for the phytoremediation, for example, for the vast water, or also for the soil, let's say, inside us are a large amounts of this kinds of pollutant. Then we try to analyze the behavior of this organism against one emergent pollutant of in the current world. This is microplastics. Do you know what this is, microplastics? Yes, it's a small species in terms of micro and nanometers of in size that are worldwide pollutant any kinds of metrics. It means air, soil, water. It means a lake, it means a river, it means a sea. And our experiments start from the culture in which we use the microplastics that were collected in the Calabrian Sea during the sampling campaign of this kind of pollutant. And we classify this microplastic in terms of color and size, and then we choose the right species of microplastics. Then usually we found in the natural matrices, and then we put a large amount of this microplastics. It means 1.7 grams per liter. It is a very high concentration of microplastic. And then after 42 days of treatment, we saw that the spirulina is still alive. They survive. What means that? It means that the resistant population of spirulina survive to the contamination with the microplastic. And then spirulina is also an organism, a target osmotic organism that may help us to clear sea or water matrix from the microplastics. So this has been a super organism, not only let's say, be used for the human foods or animal food, but also should be used for the projects to bioremediation from this kind of pollutant. Then look at biochemical properties of this organism. We was looking to proteins, the main proteins that are inside this organism. That's called phycocyanins. What is phycocyanins? Is photosynthetic proteins. It means they help the organism to make photosynthesis. And this is very common in cyanobacteria, but in spirulina, in the special species, this is Arthrospira maxima, because spirulina is the common name. But this is most species that are grouped in this common name spirulina. It means Spirulina platensis, Arthrospira platensis, Arthrospira maxima. But that is that species that's the OILFOX, Spirulina OILFOX, cultivated in this farm. If you look at the products that now is it on commercial products for the phycocyanin proteins, we may find some products like that in which they state that this spirulina is quite pure, but this purity is less than they state, because we may analyze it. So starting from a scientific paper that's was able to purify the phycocyanins from this organism, we start from this protocol, and then we simplified it. Try to do not use the chemicals. Try to use the methods in which we can recycle the water. So if you have during the extraction process, you lost a lot of water. This is not a good idea to waste the water, because water is essential to also cultivate spirulina. And then also we don't use all the salts or the chemical to extract just water. And further simplify the process. It means that we have a process more simply and a low-cost method to obtain the purified phycocyanins, more or less at 19% of purity. And then we have optimized this protocol in which we have the optimized biomass, extraction to cold extraction with no energy to extract, no use of solvent or salt, water recycling and reuse, purification and concentration. This is not a chemical purification, but we use the physical system to purify the molecules. And then 5% of proteins, which avoid the contents of no lipids, no DNA, no other proteins. And yes, because yes, it's true. It's so that this kind of molecule may be used to produce some chemicals against the disease or something else. Yes, but it depends on the grade of the concentration. Okay, so not the purity, but the right amount we will obtain in your sample. Okay, so this is the food grade phycocyanins. It means that this kind of phycocyanin may be used as a food additive. And then, just as Francesco told to you, just today, our research has been published on the international paper, so we have very nice, very happy and proud about that. But this is the first step to the future job, because the science, as you know, proceeds as a step, no? Then the future job is to optimization destruction, because we have to scale up to a semi-industrial scale, okay? Then we have to test the antioxidant activity of our molecules. You need to know if our molecules act as an antioxidant. So we need the cell line or the in vivo system or animal system to analyze the power of our molecule, and then to produce to large scale this chemical. So I want to present the research team. This is Amalia Piro, this is here. Francesco. Dante Nistico, he is not here. And Daniele Oliva is here, and Vincenzo Osso. And then other two colleagues from the Istituto of the Membrane Technologies, who is important to purify the proteins that we have prepared for in our laboratory. So this is all that I said I wish to share with you, and then we are waiting for the question or all the curiosity that you have. Thank you so much.
If you have some question, we can to answer. No, in italiano.
Okay, it's better. Okay, I saw the medicine and I asked information to the doctor in the pharmacy, what is spirulina? And in the first moment, he was shy. After, he stayed there 15 minutes to explain me everything about these new plants. And he said, this is the future for us. I said, oh, thank you very much. So
but I hope that he told you the right thing.
yes.
Yes. The first thing is, I mean, to look at which species is, because spirulina, as I told you, is the common name that grouped 3 different species. Okay, so the Spirulina platensis is the most used in commercial farm or in medicine or food additive. Then the second species is Arthrospira platensis, but I mean that the future is for the Arthrospira maxima, because Arthrospira maxima has a very high concentration of phycocyanin than Spirulina platensis or Arthrospira platensis. It means that if we are looking for the properties in terms of antioxidant activities, we have to pay attention to the species. Okay, yes, all spirulina species are phycocyanins, but for example, Spirulina platensis has phycocyanins and also another proteins, that is allophycocyanins, and another one that's help also organism to make photosynthesis. But the phycocyanins is the protein that has a very high antioxidant activity in respect to the other proteins. So this is important. So when you are looking on the market, try to choose the right product following the indication of species. Yes.
Hello, thanks for the presentation. As understood, spirulina tackles some disease as cancer. So I wanted to ask in this context, does it prevent or it works when you have it in order to tackle the disease? And
thanks for your question. I don't know exactly. The paper that my colleague mentioned about, it means for the prevention of cancer. So if you look at the cell line, what usually is treated to develop the cancer, okay? If this line of cell lines were treated previously with phycocyanins, they have not, they have a less percentage of probability to develop the cancer, okay? The first. So I mean that this is to prevent that normal molecule that's induced the cancer is normally free radicals, for example, or all molecules that are able to act as the mutagens, for example. And so all proteins that protect the cells against this kind of activity prevent the cells to go through the cancer. So if you use the spirulina in your dietary, you have less probability to develop the cancer in your cells. This is the concept. Now we have to investigate deeply this mechanism. But we need to purify exactly. You have the samples with the high grade of purified phycocyanins, and look at the different mechanism that's in which the phycocyanins may act to prevent or to contrast the division of the cancer cells. Because as you know, the cancer cells the faster cell cycle, and then all molecules then are able to stop the cancer to develop, to act as an anti-cancer.
thank you.
Andrea? Sì, sì. Sì, sì. Yes, it funds as antioxidant. So they prevent the damage from the radicals, the free radicals. So it prevents cancer.
Hello, thank you very much for the explanation. I was interested in, let's say, the human story of this research. And maybe you mentioned, but I wanted to know, how did you come up with doing this research specifically on the spirulina? And then a second curiosity connected to Emilia's question. So how can we recognize, is there a labeling, or in the future, will be there a labeling to recognize the better one, like with better properties? Thank you.
Okay. So my personal story about spirulina, you want? Okay. Okay, our story, me and my friends, Francesco, started, I mean, 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when we got PhD student, and who was involved in the research. So we was looking at the system, biological system, very stable, and very easy to handle in the lab, and easy to control. So thanks to the protocols that the farm developed in the past years, we took this experience, and then we tried to translate this experience in the lab. And then we used the standard protocol for cultivation, which is protected by the patent for the OILFOX, and then made the deliberate manipulation of some conditions, such as introduce some pollutant, and this pollutant is the most dangerous currently in the world, because the glyphosate that I cited before is the major pesticide used around the world just today. even if it is considered as a very dangerous for the humans, for the animals and the environment, toxic, extremely toxic, because they act for, we now have investigated the effects at the metabolic level of this molecule inside the organism. So we are looking at the metabolism that which this pollutant stimulated in the resistant population, because we now know that this organism is able to resist to the pollutant. And our question now is how this organism may resist to this very strong treatment with the pollutant. And this is the answer. I don't know what will be the mechanism. So okay, now we know that this organism is able to manipulate their metabolism to use the pollutant and the source of food, to energy, to use, yes. So they are able, thanks to a very complicated enzyme system, okay, to prevent the death, and then to survive. And this is very important because we need model organisms to study the preservation, to study the detoxification. Regarding the second, I don't know exactly what is my reply to your answer, but I think that this previous studies, the study on the metabolism and the molecular characteristics may help us to have a protocol, exactly protocols that from the lab goes to the customer, to the consumer, and then say, look at this kind of quality in your products, and I think that the species, the spirulina species, will be in the species and cultivation condition. Cultivation condition is very important because there's some articles that say that if you manipulate the culture conditions, for example, light, quality of light, you may induce in the organism different biosynthesis of molecules. So if you want more phycogenins, you have to go through this protocol or not. But only if you have a very plastic species that can adapt to our condition, and Spirulina maxima has these properties. So I mean, this is really the future. So we have to look at the specialization, species selection, and then go through the quality. Like all other products, for example, milk. Okay, milk is only milk, but you have to choose the right species in which produce the milk. It's the same.
Okay. Thank you very much, really, to the team.
Thank you for the presentation. I had more a technical question actually, because you said you could use spirulina to clear the ocean or the sea. So I'm curious actually, because I can't really picture how you could do that because it's such a big area, I mean surface.
How we can?
Yeah, technically speaking, and it's more also a question, so does that mean that spirulina can be grown in both salty and sweet water? Salty
Salt?
and sweet water.
Yeah, it's growing salt, of course. Mi ha chiesto come pensiamo di poter avere tecnicamente di detossificare il mare o l'oceano e se può vivere in ambiente salato. Yes. Okay. For the first question, I don't know what is the technical requirement to clean the ocean. But for example, regarding microplastics, okay, the major sources of microplastics in the environment is the vast water coming from the common house, okay. The washing machine, for example, if you put in the washing machine the clothes that are made with the non-natural fibers, like polyester and plastics, for example, during the washing, you produced microplastics. Then it goes through the wastewater and then go through the plants and then go to the rivers and then go to the ocean. So it means that if we imagine to stop the pollution of the microplastic just at your home, for example, we have to, maybe this is the way to solve the entire problem in a global scale, okay? For example, the plant for the treatment for the wastewater, okay? So the water that's coming through the plant, okay, is still plenty of pollutant, like a microplastic. So the further step, then the final step of the water treatment should be through the use of this kind of organism able to destroy, to detoxify the wastewater, the final wastewater.
Thank you.
And then the second, I don't remember your second question. What is?
I was curious because I'm not sure I understood well, but then does that mean that, but no, it doesn't make sense anymore, but like, can spirulina grow both in salty and sweet water? Yeah, because the Zaruk bed or Zaruk medium is plenty of sodium salt. Then exactly is the salt medium. And then yes, my answer is yes. The spirulina may also survive in a hot, salty medium. Welcome.
Se non ci sono più domande, noi finiremmo qui. Abbiamo intenzione di salutare insieme alla professoressa Mazzuca e a tutto il gruppo dell'università, se per favore può avvicinarsi. Un saluto al web che ci ospita. Per ringraziarvi di questa attenzione, ringraziamo in particolare il team manager Eugenio Mercuri, che ci ha consentito anche questa diffusione di questo progetto sulla rete a livello internazionale. La trasmissione sarà disponibile presto su YouTube anche, quindi potete scaricarla, rivederla quante volte vi piace. Grazie, thank you very much, muchas gracias e arrivederci e buona spirulina per tutti.